Hey there, my name is Russ Laggan. You are watching the Big Agent Meeting. Today, we've got a cool show lined up for you. We've got Holly Mabery's got something new you guys are going to want to stick around and check out. We also have a clip from Leo Pareja on stage at eXpCON. You're going to want to see that. Some of the things he talked about you need to know and have in your business. And by the way, I quoted him yesterday when I was on stage, making sure that people know some of these math and statistics so you can build a better business. And then we're going to kick over to, of course, our agent advantage for the month, and then a university update. All right, so there you go. Let's kick off Big Agent Meeting for Friday, November 21st. Guess what's coming up next week, guys? Thanksgiving. So with that being said, I want to say, number one, I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys. I can't tell you how many times I go somewhere, I'm going to speak somewhere, and somebody comes up to me and says, hey, Russ, I watch your Big Agent Meeting every Friday. I try to get your Big Agent Meeting every Friday. And I want to say I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys that show up every week to watch what we're doing and making sure we help you guys know what's going on in the industry, what's going on at eXp. And I just want to say nothing but love for you guys and ultimately thanks. So let's kick off with Attraction Advantage. And you might go, hey, Russ, looks like you pre-populated your board with some stuff. Funny enough, on Tuesday this week, I actually did the 200 Club, and I was actually speaking host of the 200 Club, 1 o'clock on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we get the people that have one or more people in their organization, or if you've done the Fast Attract training program available through university, you can also jump in the 200 Club. And our goal is to help you guys get organizations to 200 agents doing the right stuff. So on Tuesday, what I talked about making sure you get really clear on what you're good at. And I want you to circle the things that you like to do. And then I want you to write a list of the things that you need to be able to make sure you're taking good care of agents. And then once you have that, dive into the organization. What does your organization bring to the table? So what happens is between what you've got and what you need and what the organizations have and what eXp has to support you, we've pretty much got everything you need to help any agent go from where they are to where they want to be. So we got to know, what do I bring to the table? What does my org bring to the table? What does eXp bring to the table? And then with that combination, there's not much you can't cook with all those recipes available to you guys. So it's really important for you to think it's not just me that has to figure it all out. There's a ton of support and a ton of things that you guys can have access to help you guys take your business to the next level and make attraction a ton easier. Again, keep in mind, it's not all on your shoulders to do the whole thing. You've heard the phrase back in the day, it takes a village. It does, right? Some people cook, some people clean, some people mop, some people build, some people tear stuff down, right? So we've got to make sure we've got the right combination to be able to make sure we're building the right recipe so we can help people get them to where they want to go. It's not all on you. All right, so there you go. There is Attraction Advantage segment for this week. Next up, we have the one and only Ian Wheatley. Like I'm forgetting the guy's name off the top of my head. Ian Wheatley, KGCI Radio. Take it away, Ian.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, Russ. Now, agents, listen up. You just closed a deal. You're out here high-fiving. But if we're real, are you just chasing the next commission check, or are you actually building wealth? Now, as a real estate agent that first came into all this as an investor, I hear a lot of, I don't have time for investing, or I'm already too busy to manage another income stream. But that right there is exactly the problem, right? When the market shifts, our entire financial life shifts with it. And if I'm honest, most agents are out here great at selling houses, but struggle with actually owning their financial future. So coming up right after the Big Agent Meeting right here on KGCI Real Estate On Air, we have mapped out on this week's Friday Focus. It's all about agent money moves, building wealth beyond commission checks. We're going to be breaking down passive income, smart investing, and how to use your real estate knowledge to start stacking assets. We have playbooks and systems from not only top producing agents, but folks like Randy Zibnock, Brandon Brittingham, Chris Craddock, and other real estate investors who put their money where their mouth is, literally. Now, don't wait for your next closing. Grab that always free Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android. And if today's stream and tomorrow's podcast on Apple, Spotify, and iHeart get you going, tune in each week for our Wealth Wednesday right here on KGCI Real Estate On Air. It's time to be thinking about 2026 and beyond. And today it's all about wealth and you on KGCI Real Estate On Air.
All right, there you go. Ian Wheatley, thank you very much for KGCI update. All right, next up, we have the one and only Holly Mabery. She's going to be talking about new consumer choice in real estate form. It's important that you guys check out this form. I saw it the other day and I thought this is a great idea. Holly Mabery whipped that up after going to the NAR convention last week. So check this out. This is something you guys need to know. Take it away, Holly.
There's been a lot of headlines lately, and the headlines have been really focused around, hey, what does the consumer get to choose? You and I have already discussed throughout the last year that the consumer absolutely gets to choose at every turn in the transaction. And so we want to empower and educate at all times. Most recently, we saw some big changes as far as who has to use whom for a loan or title and escrow, even a home warranty. And we want to make sure that we're putting that power in the consumer. So want to let you know, hitting SkySlope this week, we are launching the consumer choice in real estate. Now, this is what we've done with this form to really make it usable for you. The goal is to educate clients, give them at least more than one, but less than the phone book. And the reason I say that is when you refer more than one service provider in a type of transaction, as far as, is it the lender? Is it the home warranty? Is it a home inspector? And the consumer truly gets to choose who's best for them. And it may not even be on your list. That's awesome. And so this document is really designed. It is for you to put the name of the provider, phone number, contact information, maybe a website. I know when I was making referrals to home inspectors, I loved having their name, their phone number, their website, so clients could actually take a look at any current reports or sample reports and really get a feel for who that person is. This is ideal, especially if you're on a team and you have a lot of different vendors that you work with. Also, I'm in a smaller town. There were only maybe 2 people that did a certain type of property, whether it was a luxury property or a horse property with solar, things of that nature. Now, this also helps us stay in RESPA compliance because at the end of the day, we want to make sure we're disclosing everything that's possible. And a quick 60-second RESPA refresher, if you will. What's important here is we are disclosing any kind of fee splits, things of value, referrals. This is really important because we're not just able to get a kickback. Like I can't get tickets to the basketball game from my favorite title company because I send them a lot of business. That's inappropriate. But you may be in some sort of business relationship or an MSA with a lender, or maybe you have ownership in a title company. Y'all, this is completely different disclosure than this consumer choice doc. Consumer choice doc just allows you to list vendors. These others actually require RESPA language. And so the affiliated business arrangement that we have as a requirement of every contract that you sign is disclosure as to who eXp is in business with, our affiliated services. And maybe if you're on a team and that team leader has a affiliated service agreement with that title company or lender as a marketing service, okay, great. That has to be disclosed in writing upfront, ideally before you write the contract. So it's really, really important that you and I are very proactive in this with our clients. And at the end of the day, I'm always going to say, hey, based on the quality and feedback from our past clients, these are some vendors that we would recommend. Remember, there's 3 lines under each of these sections on our consumer choice document. Now, when you go into kind of next steps and the consumer advisory, basically this is a best practice. The affiliated business disclosure is absolutely required. So those are the 2 reasons that we've got 2 separate documents. Best practice required. Okay, cool. So let's talk about fiduciary duty, because sometimes that gets lost in all of this. And there's a lot of concern, again, headlines coming out of the National Association of Realtors this week because the delegate body voted down amendments to Article 6. So what does that mean to our clients? Well, you and I are still going to disclose. We're going to disclose because we have this fiduciary of loyalty and care, right? You've elected me to be your agent. I'm going to tell you who I work with, why I work with them, if I'm receiving money from them, and why I'm recommending them to you. Always. But you are my first priority. Any disclosures I'm going to make, I have to make those in writing. If I have even some sort of relationship, because it's my cousin or it's my husband or it's, my wife or whatever it might be, I have to disclose those things, and I should be doing those in writing. And finally, best practice and timing. Well, always you want to do timely delivery. And this means upfront, you want to make sure that you're having that advisory in writing, ideally with the offer, maybe at the time of the buyer broker. Also, you want to capture signatures, and that e-signature program is going to be really ideal, because the delivery of the document with the different vendors that they can take a look at. And then if something changes, maybe you find out that the property has a well or it has a septic or solar, great. You add those things to the disclosure and you just keep going. Finally, at the end of the day, completing the form, contact information, the name of the company, always more than one, always. And so you may have only one in the area. Let the client know this is the one person in this area that will service this zip code or whatever it might be, and disclose that to them so they can do their research. These are some considered scripts you might take a look at. Introducing the choice. Hey, I'm going to share with you several trusted options per each service. You take a look at what feels best to you. And then you want to explain what each of these do. And this is what I love about our form, because if you're not quite sure on title insurance, hey, let's talk about what an owner's policy does. Let's talk about what a lender's policy does, and explain the pros and cons. See, I can go to a specific title company that I might use, that they then broker out for that title insurance. And there's like 3 or 4 national title insurances across the nation. Okay, great. Now, some of you are in an abstract state, so it works a little bit differently. Or if you have a closing attorney, all of those things we've tried to allow for. And I really want you to lean in and have a deeper conversation with your clients. There's so many times people don't know what they don't know. And why the multiple names? Well, we want them to have a choice. We want them to interview and own their portion of this contract, and basically their purchase. Single largest purchase they may make. Why wouldn't you want to talk to people about who are going to help you along this way? And of course, it gives us that RESPA clarity. Now, these are some things please do not do this at home. If you've only got one vendor on a list, it looks like you're pointing or steering people. And that's just a no-no. Preferred language, I don't want you putting preferred language. This is our preferred vendor. Stop it. Like, absolutely not. These are vendors that we have worked well with. Our clients have given us good feedback on. That's the best way to go. Preferred is a very toxic way to go down, and it also looks like steering. Also, I want you to be very thoughtful about taking any gifts or fees tied to referrals. That is just a no-no. It is an undisclosed affiliated business. And so you want to make sure you've got that RESPA language. Of course, our ICA P&Ps requires that you work through an attorney. So these are just timely things I want you to think about. At the end of the day, you're going to empower, disclose, and connect. I really want you to give people that education around what choices they have, disclose your affiliations up front and what that compensation is. And then you're always going to connect with the tools in writing. The consumer choice document, this advisory, it's already live in SkySlope for you. And we want to strongly encourage it. It is a best practice that we have at our company, and we just want you to be aware. If you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to either myself, any member of the Brokerage Ops leadership team, or your state broker. We're here for you.
All right, there you go. Holly Mabery, check that out. She's way ahead of the curve automatically from something that went down last week at NAR, and already created a forum so that we can stay ahead of the game, keep you guys safe in this real estate market, and blazing a trail, leading the way on doing it the right way so consumers are taken good care of. All right, next up, we have the one and only Wendy Forsythe. She's got an announcement to make about our one and only Holly Mabery and also Leo Pareja. Take it away, Wendy.
Thanks, Russ. Hi, everyone. I am thrilled that I get the honor to be here today to share a huge congratulations for 2 of our leaders who are just breaking boundaries and doing incredible things, not only in our industry, representing all of us and eXp as our company and each of us as individual professionals in our industry, but they are representing us beyond our industry. So it's just so much fun to be able to sort of share this. And what I am really hoping all of you will do is just share in wishing each of these leaders a congratulations. So the first one that I want to share a congratulations with is someone that you see often here on the Big Agent Meeting every Friday, and that is our very own Holly Mabery. So last Friday at the National Association of Realtors conference that was held in Houston, Texas, Holly stepped into the role as president of the Real Estate Business Institute. And you guys, this is a big deal. The Real Estate Business Institute is an affiliate of the National Association of Realtors. And, you know, many of you know Holly for being here on BAM with us and for constantly keeping us up to date in everything that's happening around all the regulations that are happening in the industry and keeping us like in line and just looking after us, quite frankly, in the business every single day. All the thousands and thousands of us here across the US, here at eXp. But the work she does for our industry extends beyond just our brokerage. She really is involved in the leadership of the industry at such a huge level. And we are so fortunate to have her leadership here at eXp and beyond. So please join me in just thanking Holly for everything that she does. The time and the effort and the commitment goes well beyond the typical hours of her job that she does for us here at eXp. She is on airplanes. She is in hotel rooms away from her family countless nights a year, representing all of us and doing what is right for each of us so that we can go out there and practice in this profession and do the right thing for consumers. So drop her a message, however you're connected with her, if that's on social media, if that is on Slack, if that is in our new hub, if that is on email, let her know that her work is really appreciated and that we are so very thankful for her leadership. And a huge congratulations, Holly. We are so thankful for all that you do. So that's our first big congratulations to Holly being installed as the 2026 president for the Real Estate Business Institute. The second big congrats that I want to share is for our very own CEO, Leo Pareja. And Leo Pareja was named to the Market Watch 25 list. And you guys, this one is huge. This extends beyond the real estate industry. And in fact, Leo was the only person from the real estate industry named to this list. And you may have saw us share this on social media on our eXp Realty social account or the press release that we shared on this last week. If you didn't, go check those out. Leo was amongst 25 people from across industries, from government, from like regulatory industries, from Ivy League, grads, from technology, you name it. The list is pretty incredible of names on this list. And these are people that are responsible for where we live, work, spend, and invest. I had to look down to make sure I was getting that quote accurate in shaping our lives. And our very own CEO is amongst the thought leaders and leaders that are shaping our world. And we couldn't be prouder that Leo is leading the way. So congratulations, Leo. Again, reach out, thank him for everything that he is doing. Again, the countless hours, above and beyond, representing our industry, doing the good work that it takes to be out there, frontline, advocating for the consumer, for us as the professionals in the industry. And that recognition is huge. So big kudos and big congratulations to Leo. Reach out and give him a big virtual high five. And however you're connected with him, let him know that we appreciate all his hard work. And this is such great recognition for eXp as an overall brand. And this is all recognition that each of you can use in your personal brands as you're out there representing yourself with your buyers and your sellers and building your personal brand. So hope you'll join me in extending this congratulations to our leaders. And you are all leaders in your local markets. Please let us know as great things are happening, as you are moving into leadership roles in your local, state, other organizations. We would love to profile all the various leaders here at eXp. So reach out to me directly, and maybe we'll be highlighting you in a future leadership spotlight like this. Thank you all, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Wendy. That is awesome. So we've got Holly already talked a little bit. And by the way, next up, we have the one and only Leo Pareja doing some highlights from what went down at eXpCON. If you didn't see him on the big stage, here's a couple clips and highlights from eXpCON with Leo Pareja leading the way, making sure we know what's going on in the market. Take it away, Leo.
This is the data-heavy part of the afternoon. Take out your phones. I'm going to go super fast. We have 20 minutes together. Churchill said it best. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and the optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So for the next 20 minutes, this is how I want you to think about all the information I'm sharing with you. Headlines aren't necessarily reality, and they often ignore the needed interpretation. It is our job as real estate professionals to interpret the data and be the Sherpa for your customers. There are 4 things really influencing your potential clients. And if you've ever heard me talk about real estate, I say it's human condition, the 6 Ds, diamonds, diapers, diplomas, divorce, death, which we can't control. But the media is very loud right now. And if it bleeds, it leads. It's our job to educate with real information. I'm going to walk you through the data, and more importantly, what to do with it. Okay, first up, let's talk about the financial pressures and the market. So the economy is doing a little bit better, but we're not there yet. Stocks dropped 23% from October of 2024 through April of 25th. But then they went back up 38%. It's really confusing, which creates volatility. So consumer confidence has lagged. As of September, consumer confidence was down 3.6 points. Jobs also took a pretty big hit, down 900,000 jobs. Unemployment went up a little bit to 4.3, but when you think about it, that's actually below historic averages. That's an example that you need to communicate. US inflation's at 3% as of August of 2025. Again, much better than 9.1 back during the pandemic. Now, wages have started to increase, but adjusted for inflation, they're still below by about 21.2%. Now let's look at real estate. Existing home sales are up slightly from month over month and year over year from 2024 to 2025. But guys, that's still the lowest in 30 years. Inventory's up 20% year over year, but new listings are only up 2%. That means days on market has increased dramatically. and appreciation's at 2%, which is way below the historic average of 4.25%. But that's national information. So in some areas, that means we've seen year-over-year depreciation. Builder sales are up slightly, but if you look at inventory, it's up to 7.4 months. That's officially a buyer's market for new construction. And only 25% of that inventory is complete. Builder construction and dirt inventory is an all-time high. So think concessions, buy downs, and better rates for your buyers. Median home price is up slightly. And as I've said in a little bit, you have to pay attention to the new builds. All right, this one's heavy. The headline narrative is that rates are high. The problem isn't that rates are high. Rates are higher than the lowest points in modern history, which was the Great Recession and the runaway inflation fueled by a 100-year pandemic. So yes, rates are higher than historic lows, but the real problem we have in this country right now is affordability combined with interest rates, and the pandemic-driven location independence, write the stat down, drove prices up 54.9% since Q1 of 2020. So higher rates is adding to the mix, but you need to change the narrative and make sure buyers aren't missing out, because if they're waiting for mortgage rates to fall, they may fall a little, but not back to 2021 numbers. The real focus needs to be on solutions to affordability. Context is everything. Rates are well below the historic 50-year average of 7.71. Are you explaining this and telling this story? We have to get ahead of the headlines locally. More than ever, buyers rely on you to help them find the right home, pay the right price, and rely on your negotiation skills. They need your guidance on financing and down payment options. You need to spend time with your loan officer partners and learn about alternative financing products. Affordability is not just a buyer issue. This is crazy. 48 out of 50 states have seen double-digit increases in their escrow costs in taxes and homeowner insurance. For sellers, that escrow cost is putting downward pressure on where they should list their homes. And it's actually impacting the ability to remain in their current home if they're on fixed income. Are you reaching out to your database and having these conversations with your SOI, with buyers you put into that home 4 or 5 years ago? Now let's look at the competition between buyers and sellers right now. And this is really a supply and demand issue. First, mortgage demand is up. It's picking up. Mortgage applications went up by 14%. ARMs are picking up and now represent 9.6% of all applications. The Great Recession gave ARMs a really bad reputation. No income, no assets don't exist anymore, so don't worry about that. But buyers are turning to them as they're almost running a full percentage lower than conventional rates. But as you saw, inventory is rising across the country. Listen to this stat. 43 out of 50 states had double-digit rise in inventory. Delisted properties, expireds, withdrawals, cancels have risen year over year 50% within the past few months, seen 15% of listings being delisted in July, and in August, another 15%. And this is putting downward pressure on listing prices across the country. Look at that chart. Home price reductions are at the highest we've had in recent history. This is a script. Did you know, Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, that 22% of sellers had to reduce their price in September and another 20% in August? Anyone remember the last time we had these kind of price drops? It was the Great Recession. Did those prices stay low forever or for years and years? Oh, of course they didn't.
All right, there you go. Leo Pareja always dropping the nuggets. Make sure you guys know what's going on and making it said in a manner that makes sense to you guys, which I love. I always love it when he's on stage talking about what's going on in the industry. It's pretty cool. All right, so Agent Advantage this week is America's preferred home warranty. Check it out. If you don't know about America's Home Preferred Warranty, check them out.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I am Michelle Loker. I am your National Sales Director with America's Preferred Home Warranty, and I got some great, wonderful stuff for you today. It's all about making your job easier, making some more money, getting more referrals. I just wanted to let you know that with America's Preferred Home Warranty, we are more than just a warranty provider. We provide you tools and services that help make your jobs easier. And I love the fact that America's Preferred Home Warranty is the oldest, longest running solutions provider when it comes to eXp and their agents. We go beyond what it is that a warranty company provides. We provide more than just warranty. You know, it's great to have, but we offer some services to you as professional real estate agents to help elevate your business. And that's what I'm going to talk about here today. It's an exciting new program, and it is our Homeowner Concierge program. Yes, concierge. So let me put you through the paces here. I too am a licensee. I've been licensed for 30 years. So I understand the role and the jobs and the day-to-day stuff that an agent goes through. And how many times have you asked yourself, warranty? I don't have time to learn it. I don't have time to review it. And I certainly don't have time if a client's calling me going, what do I do? Did I get the warranty? Did I not? And then have to try to explain it. As a real estate professional, we get so worked up in our day-to-day business that that's usually just an afterthought. So what America's Preferred Home Warranty has done is we have created a homeowner concierge program when it comes to warranty, so you don't have to think about things like that. When those breakdowns happen in your clients' homes, and you know they're going to, and it's usually about 90 days after close of escrow, when a major breakdown occurs, who are they calling? They're going to be calling you because they're in a panic. The wonderful thing about our concierge program is we take that away from you. We take that responsibility and that kind of in and out minutia away from you, and we help your client. And we tell your client we're going to be helping them on your behalf. So we're putting you in the spotlight, and it's an extra service that you provide to your clients. It kind of makes your clients feel like, hey, my realtor has been looking out for me because, well, they've provided this concierge service for me. What our homeowner concierge service is, it is one of our customer service professionals, and it is totally dedicated to our concierge program. And what we're going to do is we're going to provide your client with a phone number, a name, a dedicated person that they can call to ask questions when it comes to warranty. That way they're not calling you when something happens or if they have a question on that warranty. You don't have to know the ins and outs of it. Your client can call our concierge, their personal concierge, and ask the questions that they need to ask. It's just such a wonderful program. Now, what happens is at close of escrow, when a warranty is ordered, at that close of escrow, we'll be notified. And then we will reach out to your client on your behalf and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we are calling on behalf of Jane, and she has asked us to let you know that you have a home warranty when it closed at escrow. And anything that happens, any questions that you have, here is my phone number. Please call me and we will walk you through the process. There's no need to be afraid of warranty or confusion or whatnot. We are here for you. And your agent has asked us to make sure that you understand the process. And if you do have those questions, you can reach out to us directly. Now, our homeowner concierge, they're going to be contacting your clients on your behalf every so often, 30, 60, 90 days. If there is a claim that is opened, we will make sure that we walk your client through that claim, which is absolutely fantastic. We will also send out a phone call and note to you to let you know that your client has been using the concierge program to have a claim opened or to walk them through the process. So this way you are also able then to reach out to your client to make sure that they're happy, to make sure that their claim has been taken care of or their problem's been taken care of. We know with holidays coming up too, there's kitchens that are going to get utilized much more frequent than they normally do throughout the year. So if something does happen there, they have got to go to. And one of the great things too about America's Preferred Home Warranty, don't forget, your client can use their own licensed professional when it comes to getting a repair made. So they don't have to sit around and wait for a company who may not be open during the holidays, or for someone to say, hey, we're going to send out ABC company to you. No, if your client knows somebody already, they can use that client as long as they open that claim first and let our concierge help them with that. The nice thing too about this concierge program, well, it elevates your service. And what does that mean to elevate your service? Well, if you think about it, there's not a lot of real estate professionals out there that are offering this type of service. Not only are we taking care of their home and a warranty, but we're also taking care of the client on that personal, emotional level to make sure that they are comfortable with the process. The program itself screams personalized service from you to your client. Now, long-term, if you look at this, what does that mean for you? Well, it means that you're going to have some client satisfaction and some absolute remarkable pieces that are going to go through the roof. It's going to take your service to that next level. And what does that mean there? Well, it means that your clients will most likely refer you. And what do referrals mean? Well, we all know this when it comes to real estate. Referrals mean more money. And more money is always good, right? We're not going to complain when there's more money involved, but allowing this concierge service to help elevate you to that next level of business, to gain more referrals, to earn more money, that's what it's all about, guys. And that's one of the things we love about America's Preferred Home Warranty is we work for you. We don't work for ourselves. And again, having warranty is such a wonderful tool and a wonderful service to be able to offer to your clients, but to be able to take it to that next level in terms of service and how your clients access it, well, that's just what we do. And we are so, so very proud of this new program and how we work for you and how we're able to elevate your business. That's one of the great things about being a partner. Anyone can sell warranty. You can choose from hundreds of companies out there, but America's Preferred Home Warranty truly partners with you and helps you elevate your business to that next level. So one of the things that I want you to look at is how you're sharing that with your clients, letting them know that you are more than just a real estate professional that's going to list their home or represent them in a buyer-seller agreement. You're actually looking out for their best interests, not only up to the close of escrow, but after close of escrow. And that's what's going to keep your clients coming back. So look at it this way. Provide the service to your clients that are going to make them go, wow, and think about things that are remarkable. Is your service remarkable? With the concierge program, it absolutely is remarkable. What I want you to do is the flyer that you're going to see tells you a little bit more about our concierge program. And there's also a QR code that you can click onto for information. You can also send that to your clients for them to get set up. Now, as always, we are always here to help you. If you have any questions at all, you can always reach out to me inside Slack, or my information is also listed there. You can find us also at our dedicated website for APHW EXP. With that being said, I want to thank you all for spending a little time with me today. I know time is valuable when it comes to real estate and our day-to-day business. But as we wind down 2025 and get prepared for 2026, well, look at this concierge program as your agent advantage and elevating your business to that next level. Thank you so much for spending the time again, and have some wonderful holidays. Thank you.
All right, there you go. America's Preferred Home Warranty. Good stuff. I've got a home warranty on my house. And by the way, we've been using the heck out of it. My house is built in 1953. And every single year we're getting new surprises. We're working through them one at a time. We're going to run out of surprises, hopefully. Or by the time we get through the surprises, they're going to be the surprise that we fixed 20 years ago. We'll have to fix them again, probably. Welcome to home ownership, 1953 style. All right. So next up, we have the one and only Alyssa Specht talking about what's going on in University Spotlight. Alyssa, take it away.
What's up, big agent meeting? Alyssa Specht here, back again with your weekly eXp University Spotlight. And this next week is going to be fire. If you are looking to close listings faster, if you are looking to attract with strategy, then here is what is coming up this next week for you. Starting with Monday, we have Level Up with John Sy. Now, John is a 7-time icon, and he's here to help you move listings quickly. He's going to walk you through mastering a pricing strategy, how to identify true seller motivation, and how to use systems to create urgency and close with confidence. So again, that's Monday on Level Up. Then let's take a look at Tuesday. We've got the AI Accelerator. Now, this week's session is AI plus marketing. We're giving you tools for consistent lead flow. You're going to learn how to automate your marketing, build systems that generate leads, and use AI to stay top of mind without burning out. So make sure you check out eXpUniversity.com for all of that. So that's Tuesday. Now let's take a look at Thursday. We are back with another amazing executive masterclass, this time with Leo Pareja. So Leo is actually going to be walking us through one of the most underrated leadership tools. It's DISC. You're going to learn how understanding your DISC profile and others can help you communicate more clearly, build rapport faster, and lead and convert and collaborate with more impact. So again, that's Thursday with an executive masterclass. Then we're back to Friday. We're back with another big agent meeting. This is your energy shot straight into the arm. Top producers, real conversations. You know what goes on here at BAM. So make sure that's on your calendar for every Friday. But we're not done yet. On Friday, we also have the Lab podcast with Nate Armstrong. So he's a full-time coach. He's a sales director, and he's revealing how their Zillow Flex operations scaled through coaching-based leadership, concierge processes, and structured onboarding. This is a super tactical session on turning online leads into loyal clients. So check that out. You'll see some teaser clips here, but make sure you check out the full episode of the Lab on the YouTube channel. Guys, mark this all down on your calendar, tag your team, and I'll see you there.
All right, there you go. Alyssa, thank you very much. Always giving us the stuff. What's going on at university? Plug in, guys. If you need something, plug in and get it. Now's the time of year. If things are a little slower for you, like they are in a lot of markets, time to get your brain going and thinking for 2026 and learn some stuff so you can apply it for the whole next year. All right, so there you go. That is the show for today, which is November 21st, Friday, the Friday before Thanksgiving. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Before you go, make sure you check out the QR code. Let us know how we did on a scale of 1 to 10. If you like the show today and there's something of value in there, give us a good rating. Let us know how we're doing. Of course, always add a note if you want. So we look at those every single Monday. So check that out. All right, there you go. That's it for the show. I'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned for iConversations coming up next.